I'm delighted to say I'm joined in studio now by Maura Clancy, Lisa Clancy and Bodbh Raleigh from Corofin Dramatic Society. They're going to be bringing the Irish premiere, no less, of the Pulitzer Prize-winning play Wit to audiences very, very soon, from tomorrow, in fact, at Corofin Hall, across 3 performances, described as a powerful, moving and darkly humorous story about life, mortality and the value of human connection. Folks, you're very welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks very much for coming in. So who wants to tell me a little bit about Wit? Because it's dealing with fairly serious themes, life, death and the human need for connection. Maura, Lisa?
I'll start if that's okay. So, I mean, as you've already said, this is a Pulitzer Prize winner. It won in 1999. It does deal, yes, it's the key character is Vivian Bearing, and she is a professor of 17th century poetry.
Which is the role you'll be getting your teeth into.
Which is the role I'll be performing. And so, and when she's diagnosed with cancer, so she's devoted her life to academia and detail, to almost to the detriment of relationships. And when she gets diagnosed with cancer, she approaches the treatment with the same rigour that she approached her academic career. And she thinks this kind of rigour is going to be enough to get her through. What the journey brings her on is a realisation of the need and the power of human connection. So while it does deal with a very difficult topic, it is actually very uplifting because it teaches us all to really think about what is important in life and the value of the human relationships around us and our connections.
I have to say, it sounds, Lisa, like there's real depth to this play. And Maura told us a little bit about Vivian's character. You're playing Susie Monahan.
Yes, so I play Susie Monahan. She's Miss Bearing's primary nurse. And I'd say anyone who's had a stint in hospital has experienced this, where, well, I certainly did when I was giving birth to my son. There was a nurse and she was an angel and I clung on to her. And then the doctor came in and was just a bit more perfunctory. You know, I think anyone who's been in hospital has experienced that. So Susie represents that side of the medical community, the caring, kind connection.
The human touch.
The human touch. She gives Miss Bearing exactly what she needs towards the end of her life.
I do wonder as well about, I mentioned it's the Irish premiere, Maura. Is that rare enough? I'm trying to think, you know, I've had a lot of dramatic groups, dramatic societies in, and quite often they're turning or even returning to very popular and well-tread material, which is obviously not a problem because if it's popular for a reason. But how much of a coup is it to get to do with?
Well, it's a real coup. It's an absolute coup, and I can say that because we're so heavily involved in the circuit. I have a lot of connections around Ireland. I am inundated with people saying, this is the play I want to see this year, because I have seen so many versions of lots of the other plays, and that is not a denigration of any other production, but this is attracting interest. In terms of how rare is it, it's becoming less rare because a lot of amateur groups now are going to London to see productions and then trying to get their hands on it and be the first ones in Ireland to bring it to local audiences all around the country, because a lot of people won't travel to Dublin to see these for a lot of reasons. This brings these types of plays into a hall in Corofin, in Charleville, in Doonbeg, in Scariff, and it's really exciting.
Yeah, and understandably so. But Maura, you're playing Vivian Bearing. Lisa, you're playing Susie Monahan. Bodh, you're a real jack of all trades. You're playing pretty much everybody else.
Yeah, so I have about 3 or 4 parts in the play.
Is that all? You're just trying to prove that men can multitask, aren't you?
Exactly. Well, anyways, one of them is a student. I'm a college student in New York, and I'm one of Vivian Bearing's students. And I'm, questioning the meaning of life and questioning on all this, like, garbage he thinks, And another character is a technician. So in the hospital, when she's getting all of, like, the scans, I'm bringing around all the equipment and all the props onto the stage. And, there's another technician with me, but she's not here today. But, that's my part.
So basically, you have a lot of lines to learn.
Not really, more of actions.
He gets his 10,000 steps in.
He gets his presence alone will bring real gravitas to the production. And you touched on a number of other venues there, Maura, because you're hitting the road, the festival circuit, which is starting in Ballinamore, and you'll be hitting multiple towns across Ireland. Anytime I talk to groups, dramatic groups who are doing that, there's a lot involved in it, logistically and emotionally.
Oh, it's a commitment. There is no point in denying that. But I can say here and now, it is the most rewarding adventure you could go on. There are highs and there are lows. You arrive, the crews have to be put first and centre on this. They could arrive at a venue at 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. They're still there at 1 o'clock at night. So they go and they put up the set, and then they stay until the show is finished, and they take it down.
See, Bodbh, you thought you had it hard.
It's crew this year as well. So.
we all are.
Well, look, there's a lot of, and you're right to point out, it isn't just the people on stage, it's everybody else around it that helps it be a success.
Logistics, makeup, lights, sound, costumes. There is a heck of a lot to be done, but Corofin Dramatic Society is a very vibrant, live and active society, and so we have a lot of talented people that give of their time and energy to make it all happen.
We know that from having you guys in before. And look, we wish you the very best, not just once you hit the road for the festival circuit, but the performances. So Corofin Hall from tomorrow and Friday, and then Thursday the 5th of March. Lisa, if people want to head along to see this, what should be fantastic Irish premiere of Wit, how can they get tickets?
Just show up at the door. You can get tickets there and online, I think.
Online?
Yeah, online.
You can buy them online,
Okay, perfect stuff. My thanks to Maura Clancy, to Lisa Clancy, and to the soon-to-be very busy Bodbh Raleigh. Guys, thanks very much for joining me